Welcome to Live from Sparkwood in 21. This series chronicles one of the greatest television shows of all time, the 1990s cult classic, Twin Peaks, created by David Lynch and Mark Frost. Joining me on this journey are superfans, Last Call with Troy Pacelli, Netters Network, and Aged Boomer. Tonight, Laura Palmer's murderer will be revealed. But this isn't the end of the story. It's a new beginning. So slide into a booth at the Double R Diner and order a damn fine cup of coffee and a heavenly slice of cherry pie as we watch and discuss Episode 7 of Season 2, Lonely Souls. The chat is jumping tonight. It's good to see you all here. First off, we have Disney Sheep Herder. JP RPH1. Host of Films with Friends and the creator of the 10-Word Review, Big Out Presents. Have a great show, my friends. Working on my review of Attack of the Meth Gator. Probably be the best movie all month. We, of course, have Netters Network doling out the Hello ID Hi Sweeties. Last Call with Troy Pacelli. Dee Myers Jr. Emoji Queen. Lady Mist. Evelyn Hampton. Quapla Admiral. And hello to Tim, also known as FKHG 2005. Left Chick Productions. Geek Flag with an 8 nose, 1973. Damn good year. Friend of the channel and Bird Woman of YouTube, Connie Clary. The panel is awaiting us backstage, so there's no time like the present to bring them on. Last Call, Troy Pacelli.
Hello.
Netters Network.
Good evening.
And of course, Aged Boomer.
Hello, hello, hello. I have to say, I'm really happy about the addition of the character of Harold Smith to the show, and I'm looking forward to seeing where his journey takes him. What? What's so funny, man?
No spoilers, but you already know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But so I'm going to toot my own horn a little bit. I have just joined 2 other members of this panel on the other side of 1,000 today. I'm feeling pretty
congratulations.
Whoa.
Right on.
Did not even notice until Netter pointed it out to me.
You're moving on up.
Yeah. I am. Now if I could just move on up my my watch time. But
See, I did it the easy way. I changed my avatar, and all these guys from India are subbing to me.
well, yeah, I did tell you, when I saw some of the stuff Maria was doing, I was like, look, it's not like she started an OnlyFans or anything, but see,
but this is it. And,
you do stuff like that, and it gets people's attention,
And I haven't been brunette in years.
True. Yeah,
And
it looks
hello
more like
to
that
you,
hair color
Linda.
now.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Which one of us were you talking to?
I was saying hello to Playing Down Under joining us.
Yes.
Playing Down Under.
Better run.
All right. Sorry. This is, Australia is not a real place. Well,
Yeah, it's a real place. It's just upside down.
Yeah. Everybody knows that. Moving on up
to the east
to
side.
the east side.
And y'all make sure that you are hitting that thumbs up. Come on,
Yes,
show the love.
please.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, the east side. But of course, living in Chicago, there is no east side.
Yeah, that's the lake.
That's the lake. Despite what that song says.
Hi, Real Game. Let's see. Real
Hello, Wade.
Wade Nation Gaming. It's all together, so I have to break it up.
Yeah.
Real Wade. Hi.
Yeah, specifically Clips. This is the Clips channel.
That's real. It's conspiracy. How'd you find out?
How close is it to that big wall of ice that surrounds the world? The flat Earth. Thank you, Lady Mist.
Evelyn Hampton says, rewatched Starship Troopers. Eric Duray plays Leo, has a small role as a medic. Well,
I did not know, but
I've never spotted him. Yeah,
there's a lot of people that had cameos in there that you easily miss if you blink.
I'm noticing a big Paul Verhoeven Twin Peaks actor crossover. Have you noticed this? Like RoboCop actors. A lot of RoboCop actors on this show.
True. Yeah, true.
Okay.
Yeah, I had never really thought about that.
A couple, yeah.
Well, of course, there's a lot of Twin Peaks and X-Files crossovers, too.
Oh, for sure.
X-Files. See, there's a show that had a not so great ending, and then when they brought it back, it had another not so great ending. If you count, never mind. You know what? That's another topic for another stream.
X-Files was really its own thing, but
it is. It's not like Twin Peaks. It's its own thing. Yeah,
it's not, but I would have loved there to have been like a Twin Peaks spin-off, a la the X-Files, but surrounding some of the
mythos of this universe. Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Mythos of this universe, specifically the FBI agents that you see in Fire Walk with Me,
And you know what? I'd also like a spinoff in the X-Files universe that takes place in a small town. That would have been interesting and not about FBI. That could have been something.
Yeah. It's true.
But, I don't know. Maybe you never know. Maybe David Lynch will come back for something. We never know, right?
He strikes me as the type who, when he's done with something, he goes on to something else. And he really just has to be in the mood to come back to a project.
Well, all right, then do a new project.
I mean, in a way, from his perspective, he doesn't have to do anything else with Twin Peaks. It's fine the way it is. It's not like, a certain Song of Ice and Fire that's like mid-story and just hovering forever. Winter is never coming, people.
Okay. You're still salty about the anti-fan comment.
Yeah.
You're an anti-fan.
Yeah.
Like that's supposed to be something that's insulting. I don't find it insulting. I just...
Well, here we are. We are at... we're there. We're at episode 7 of season 2. Episode 14 of the series in total. And folks, this is it. We get a big piece of the puzzle tonight. And as I said in the intro, it may seem like the end, but it's really just a new beginning. Would you be right in my? Would I be correct in my saying that, Troy?
You would be, and I want to hold off on elaborating on that maybe until after the episode, because there are some things I want to say, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense until after they see this episode.
So is that puzzle piece? Do we finally get the corner piece that we've been looking for?
In a way, yes. I mean, you could almost hold on to that idea, because in a way, that's kind of what this is. It's like a cornerstone piece that for the network's perspective wrapped up the main mystery. But I think everyone will agree there's still an overarching mystery that you're still kind of scratching your head about and chewing on. It's like we know who the murderer is. Well, that's it. I'm gonna leave it until the end.
Yeah.
Hey, spoilers! Don't
Yeah,
tell.
exactly.
Spoilers.
Yes. Thank you, River.
I get to drop the sweeties too.
And yes, exactly. So yeah, we do get that. When we left off, Harold Smith his world had basically been shattered. And it may not seem like that to the average person, but when you understand his character, someone who has some kind of trauma, we don't know what kind, in his past, that has made him this reclusive, agoraphobic. So much so that if his life depended on it, he couldn't leave his house or apartment. I'm not really sure what that constitutes. But he has built this world for himself within those four walls, including caring for orchids. And I know he kind of touches on this, but it really helps to understand the cultivation of orchids. He says this specifically. The temperature and the moisture need to be kept very, very constant, and they need to be cared for on a regular basis. The fact is that orchids in the wild are they're only indigenous to very small segments of geography because their needs are so particular. And if you cultivate them, yourself, you have to maintain exact conditions. So what he is he's a caretaker, right? And that's especially because he's so insular, right? So he meets Laura, who's coming and bringing Meals on Wheels to shut-ins, and she confides in him. So he knows a lot of the things that we as an audience know. I should say we as an audience who've already seen the show all the way through, including Fire Walk with Me. But he keeps that to himself because he was told to. He promised Laura that he would. He takes her secret diary because he's the only person that she knows she can trust. And he does not want to betray that. Just as surely as he doesn't want the humidity in his terrarium or whatever you call it to fluctuate, right? It's got to stay the way I promised it would stay. And now we got the Scooby gang coming in and trashing the place, trying to steal back that diary, and it's like a knife in his heart. He's been betrayed. He said as much, right? We've got Mr. Gerard, also known as Mike, who when he's off his meds, the entity known as Mike speaks through him, takes over. You can think of it as a multiple personality disorder if you want to, or you could think of it as a kind of possession if you want to. And we'll talk more about that kind of, you could take it either way or both ways kind of thing later on when at the end of the episode when we're talking about the nature of the lodges and so forth. And of course, there's the whole Ghostwood storyline going on too, you know. And I'm sorry, I will turn off my phone because I did not realize I had my sound on. I apologize. We're running a real professional show here, guys. You know, Mr. 1,000 subscribers, who's all professional, right? Screwing up behind the scenes on you here.
We may grow in subscribership, but we're still very much us, folks. So
Yeah.
stay tuned.
I'm still
And hello to
Oh,
Jedi
man.
Bill.
Soon you're going to be having your martinis.
Can I? Does this mean I get to have a martini on Mondays as well as Fridays?
No.
No.
Maybe when you get to 10,000, you can discuss it again.
Monday's beer night. Of course, Netter's going to agree to that because she knows I don't really drink beer.
You can have a root beer night
in the fridge.
Yeah, but I've been saving that for you. And welcome, Jedi Bill.
Well, all right. Should we get started?
Let's dive in.
Probably really should.
We've been waiting on this episode.
Well, you have. Well, no, I guess, you know, we all have for different reasons,
Yes.
right? I just want to double check and make sure I'm sharing. I am sharing because what? Oops. I'm using the wrong mouth. Oh, gosh. See what I'm talking about? This is what
Inception.
I like that.
Where is it?
It's like Inception. Is that what you're saying?
It is. I'm sorry, guys.
Here's a good Nolan movie, Inception. Huh?
It's not bad. It's honestly, compared to Twin Peaks, it's pretty straightforward and simple. I mean, you know, people try analyzing the hell out of it, and you're like, no, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
The answer is this: it's done. You can move on now. You know,
Michael Caine. I'm in the real world, right? That's all you got to remember. Michael
Good
Caine
old
is in the
Michael
real
Caine.
world, folks.
Good old Michael Caine.
just
All
like
right.
in Dark Knight Rises. Just saying. Okay, I'm sorry. We can start.
I refuse to believe Nolan directed that movie. All right.
I like it. I guess I'm the minority here. Anyway, let's go to the episode.
It's half a good movie.
We'll
It's better
talk about
than
it another
We'll
time.
talk about it at another time. Yeah. All right, folks. Here we go. Please join us all in Cosme. The link is at the top of the chat. And also find out what kind of anonymous animal you are once you get there.
Yes,
All right.
I am a panther, as well as being Troy Pacelli over there.
I'm just me. Although I identify as being a dragon.
Yes.
I identify as a 123rd ostrich. All right. Lonely Souls in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit it.
I heard that Flappy would always insist his eggs being served over easy.
I always took him as a hard-boiled kind of guy myself.
Well, okay, that's just what I heard.
Yes, but in the end, it ended up scrambled.
Netter's mad at me tonight. She got a pair of socks that said, Master gave Dobby clothes, Dobby free. And I said, yeah, he's also dead. She's like, no! And I'm like, it's in the book. No matter how many times you read the book, it comes up the same way.
That's a little cold.
I didn't remember that part. So
surprise!
Don't be mean.
I hate to break the scene. When they do that Harry Potter TV show, they're going to do that scene again. At some point.
On repeat, over and over.
No, hopefully not. Cheryl and Fenn.
Waffles on repeat all through the night.
And Peggy Lipton.
Nice looking lady, Peggy Lipton.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of nice looking people.
From the Mod Squad.
Yep.
You know what I like most about Peggy Lipton? It's her smile. She has a great smile.
Yes.
So for a future watch party, Richard III with Ian McKellen. Yeah, I heard that was a decent one. Yeah,
I have that
Maybe.
on DVD somewhere.
Okay.
We may already be out of coffee.
So this is something that always kind of, and if you listen to what he's saying, this is clearly Mike talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
The house is filled with many rooms, each alike, right?
Plus his voice is deeper.
And yet he's there drinking the coffee with them, right? Like,
yeah,
spirit or human, it's the elixir. Now there's another thing. They got a warrant. He can't keep them out.
Oh my goodness. Of course.
Real hush. So don't let it get around.
You have to wonder what Gordon's up to on his little things. Do they ever say? If it's more interesting
in season 3.
Okay, but I'm just saying, if it's more interesting than what's going on here, it might be interesting. I wonder
true.
what it is.
Yeah, there's an episode coming up with him that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. You mean the one with him and Shelley?
Yeah.
I love that dissolve, right? From the falls into this clock, the falls image. It's like, the heck's going on here?
I'm telling you, he should have played the Ghost of Christmas Present. He's perfect.
I agree.
Yes. You are.
See, you hear that noise and you have no idea what it is until you see all these sailors bouncing balls.
Oh, is that what they were doing? I
Yeah.
thought they were walking around. That was their shoes.
I thought it was tap dancing.
Oh boy. Wow.
It's like, why don't you shut up and wait?
In fairness, this is something that, as the owner of the establishment, he should have been briefed on before they started.
Okay, why are they all bouncing balls?
Who knows? But let's face it, it's not the weirdest thing we've seen when we've been at hotels where there were conventions.
True.
See? And remember what I said about taking care of the orchids?
He's destroyed them all.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Sheriff, we got a hanger.
Yeah.
I guess I'll be changing my thumbnail next time. Too soon. Sorry.
Louis Armstrong.
Yep. Green. I can't sing. Sorry.
Yeah.
I want to.
That's a little deep for me.
Well, the other thing too is Doesn't matter how good or how bad you sing, the stream will get hit.
And
Louis
hello,
Armstrong
LBG.
song.
What?
Louis Armstrong songs show up in the weirdest places in movies sometimes.
Yeah, and here, I mean, it's an obvious, placement, right? It's you take it at face value, but it's also ironic too.
I think he's been in James Bond. They had a song of his in an anime movie once, actually.
Oh, did they?
Which was an anime remake of Metropolis.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You gotta tell me more about that one. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah, some other time.
Too soon, Nate.
Yeah.
We do.
You've overstayed your welcome. Why don't you gone? Bye.
There's so many things I want to say, but I can't.
Well, you can, but you'd be spoiling things.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil nothing. One thing I do like is the use of. Oops, didn't mean to move the mouse.
Use of what?
The use of like a photo.
Well, people still listen to records in the late 80s. I mean, they were fading out.
Exactly. It was a perfect time where it was not completely out of place. Oh, a lightsaber.
Where?
Those flash cameras.
Oh, I see.
The flash handle was.
Oh, this is not unpleasant.
Graphlux.
No.
I wonder if they had gone over there when Donna told them if he'd still be alive.
Maybe.
Yeah. The flash photography is interesting. Kind of like the lighting effects when they were doing the autopsy on Laura. Commercial break. Oh, Leo's house.
Oh, no.
Going through the bills.
I would have said $42 pizza night.
Right. Actually, that $42 for pizza night. Now, back then, that would have been like 4 pizza nights.
Yeah.
Or you could always go back to smuggling drugs for Canadians, and well, that's how this got started. No.
I'll tell you this: Leo could make a good mule, right? You just stick him in Leo. How'd those get there, Leo?
New shoes.
There's that.
That is the thing, plus, yeah.
I was just about to say, well, you didn't shoot him, but Well,
Yeah.
she actually did. And technically, that was self-defense when she did it. So
That is pretty freaky. Well, you know he's alive.
New shoes.
What gets me is it's not just he's saying new shoes. He squeaks, he spits, and then he says new shoes.
So the money's in the new shoes. Thank you. No, it'll take them 5 episodes to figure that out, right?
if you were doing this show now, it would be the whole season.
Right.
What does that mean?
And it almost sounds like the Mina bird. His voice.
Yep.
Well, again, this is like so many other clues in Twin Peaks. They think they know what it means, but they're not really paying attention. He said new shoes. She said he had me take some shoes in for repair. That's not new shoes.
Well, maybe like new, or I really hate
But the
spittle and
receipt might
dribble.
say where he
Yeah.
bought them.
No, it would say where they were taken for repair. That look at his face is like, oh crap. He just had a pucker moment.
You were not in One-Eyed Jacks. That was Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
I thought that was the two Jakes.
I thought it was the Three Amigos. And hello to View with Drew.
Yep. It's interesting she asked the second time because she already knows the answer now.
Yeah.
Wow. Little bit broken that he would even actually answer that question. That doesn't answer the question. But it hurts her.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
You might want to hold off on that award. See, it's doubly hard for her. She really means what she's saying. She really doesn't want to let her down. She loves working here. She also needs the money. So long.
New shoes.
New shoes.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Meanwhile, somewhere in 1982 ish. No, wait, I don't know. When were they in high school? This group.
Don't say that.
Yeah. Please. Please. About 6 weeks.
That's about right. Yeah. I'll take all of that twice.
Yeah, exactly. Shelly's keying in too. She's like, you don't know me.
Yeah.
Good luck. You're on your own here, kid.
Remember Walter Bishop would always drink? He would drink strawberry shakes on Fringe.
It was one or the other. Well, yes. He's chugging the coffee.
Oh, that's gonna break.
Look out.
Ah. And she's bleeding. Yeah, don't count on it. You're also so strong.
You get that crazy people
Got that
strength.
crazy
Yeah.
people strength, exactly.
Help
I expect his head to pop off.
me,
Help me.
Fred Burrows.
Call the police.
I've been kidnapped. Oh my god. I'm sorry. It's funny, but it's not funny at the same time.
Exactly. And there's a part of you that's like, is she really in a fugue state? Or is she fully aware of what's going on and playing this up? But that strength thing, well, she was doing that before she,
Yeah.
Yeah.
when she bent the bars on that rowing machine.
Hey, look who's back.
Robert Redford.
He kind of does look like Robert Redford, doesn't he?
Well, he played a younger version of Robert Redford in Sneakers.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, don't
Did
move.
it again. Sorry about that. Those shoes.
No, new shoes.
We should ask Susan if she's had any communication with Gary Ertzberger recently. Wonder what he's up to.
Get a hammer. Yeah. You just got those shoes fixed.
Yeah, it's not these old shoes. It's new shoes that you haven't found yet.
What's that?
Oh. I forgot about this.
Hey, we know a guy who carries those.
Yeah. I like what he's doing with his eyes. Like they're unfocused. Almost like he's cross-eyed. Donuts.
Not making me hungry.
That's okay. Now his daughter can. Speaking of the devil, or succubus, depending on how you look at it. I used to think the soundtrack was a little bit distracting, but it kind of amps up the tension. You
Yeah.
know?
The plot thickens.
Yup. Okay. Yeah.
You know, if I
which would give him great pleasure.
Yeah.
Does it look like we're joking?
He says he has friends in high places. I wonder how high.
okay, we could do this quietly.
We need to discuss your idea of quietly.
Just
Yeah.
taser him.
Mr. Tajimura strikes me as someone who would have Yakuza ties. You know?
You know what? You're not. Wow.
What?
Did you see who Tajimura's assistant was?
Who?
Oh, what's that actor's name?
No.
Um,
I need a better look at him.
give me a second.
I didn't recognize him. So.
Uh-oh. What's going on here?
Sarah's down.
I want you to put a pin in this scene. Her crawling down the stairs like this. We're gonna talk about that more when we get to season 3.
Margaret Lanterman, good evening.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that she's still wearing her wedding ring.
That log needs googly eyes.
Jeez. I never thought of that. And rest in peace, Catherine Coulson, too. it's almost creepy when she gives a direct answer like that.
Yeah.
Big ape.
He's confused.
You look terrible. Yeah, I'd be freaking out too. So,
My wife is now a man.
Mr. Tajimura was listed up until this episode in the credits as Fumio Yamaguchi.
Mm-hmm.
Presumably, so you didn't know it was Piper Laurie.
I wonder if that means something in Japanese, like fake person or something.
I don't think so. I think that's a real name.
Wait a minute. Are we going to see something here for a minute here?
Oh yeah.
Is that Troy?
It's Troy.
Yep.
I don't. A lot of people think so. I don't think so. Because Troy was brown, not white.
Oh.
Hey, if Catherine could be an Asian man,
Well,
Troy could be
okay,
a
you
white
make a
horse.
great point there, but I think it's a little bit more. Well, see, again, only if you had read the diary would you even know about Troy. So I tend to think it's a little more obvious than that. It's just the white horse, as in death.
Now, when I first saw this, my dad and I were literally having a conversation.
About what?
Rest in peace, Julie Cruz.
We'll see.
It's all your fault.
It's true.
Yes, it is.
It is. It's her fault. Yes, that is true. That doesn't justify it.
No, it does not.
No, he didn't. I'm actually very much agreeing with every word she says.
Yes, you are.
Donna Noble, you're under the arrest for the murder of Lord. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We're going to just friggin' arrest everybody at this point, right?
And at this point, there would be reason.
Yeah, right? And there's another thing I love about the log lady, right? She's all mysterious, right, and everything. Then she sits down and just starts cracking open some peanuts, because why not? Oh, and so does Cooper.
Well, he's got a beer now.
Yeah.
But isn't he on duty? Why is he drinking a beer?
Don't know.
And welcome back, Disney Sheepherder.
Yep.
Cosme Link is at the top of the chat.
See the sailors in the background?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Is that her way of saying, I'm sorry, let's get back together again? Now the guy I was seeing is dead, and the girl you were seeing is going home. See, it's like you have to get her Floating into the Night album to go with the Twin Peaks soundtrack.
The music's very much a character.
It is. They take that to an extreme in season 3. Literally, at this moment. This, I think, is just very well shot. And I love that in the background you can hear the record players hitting the label. Mm-hmm. I do think they were a little on the nose with these intercuts of Bob, because they already established it in the mirror. They didn't really have to do it this way.
Well, part of me wonders what she's seeing. Is she seeing Bob or is she seeing Uncle Leland or both? That's what I'm wondering.
In a way, it doesn't matter, because either way, she's in danger, right?
Why aren't you trying to fight?
The bigger question is, did Laura see Leland or Bob? Okay, now I see why they did it that way. Because who's in control at any given time goes from Leland to Bob. One could argue this is Leland trying to reassert himself. And you can still hear the record player clicking. It doesn't slow down with, the other scenes. A little bit of trivia. This scene was actually filmed with Ben Horn as well.
Interesting.
Just as like a red herring.
A precaution in case something leaked, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's also why there were other things earlier in the episode that implicated Ben.
He's going to stick something in the fingernail.
Ew.
So my take was always that the giant was like a harbinger.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess this would be the angelic choir. Senor Jewel Cup.
Here we go. Look who it is.
And Bobby has his Jedi moment.
Yeah. And I feel like Margaret was kind of keyed into all of it that was happening.
Does Donna know somehow? Like she's crying again.
I don't think anyone knows, but with everything that's happened, the emotion of the song, it all just kind of is pulling at everyone. The music is incredibly important.
No Laura Palmer picture.
Yeah. So the name of that song was, correct me if I'm wrong, deleted scenes question, In a World of Blue? Yeah.
No, Question in a World of Blue is in the film. This is The World Spins.
The World Spins, right. I always confuse those two. Thank you.
Mhm.
Woof. Man,
Yeah.
oh man. That was a heavy episode, guys.
When I first saw this episode, what I was going to say, because I didn't want to talk over the ending, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And that ending sequence felt at the time and feels now like they shot it in hell. And I know I'm not the only person who's ever said that about that ending, but that it is what it feels like. Now, this was the episode where when we were watching, because I watched the first 2 seasons with my dad, of course, and this is when he revealed to me he knew it was Leland.
Really?
And
did he walk you through his reasoning?
No, I knew what the reasoning was. It's like in the back of my mind, I knew. I think from when I read the diary in its entirety, I knew he was the abuser, but I didn't want to think that didn't necessarily mean he killed her too.
That's true. Yeah, good point.
And I just my brain just didn't go there. So when you see Leland in the mirror there, I yelled out, "Oh fuck, it's Leland." Because I didn't want to believe it. But I knew. It's like somehow it's like in the back of my mind, it's just, of course, it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of does.
Yeah.
But, gosh.
Because, and now he's killed Maddie. And then you got to remember kind of the forgotten woman in all of this, Teresa Banks. And
right.
When we get the Fire Walk with Me, which is the whole Teresa Banks backstory as well, you'll see how Leland is connected to her. But
when one of the things that Charlotte Stewart said, the actress who played Betty Briggs, she said that everybody, all the cast members, were kept in the dark about who had actually killed Laura Palmer, right? Until this episode. And as I said, there was the red herrings. She didn't specify. I didn't find out until years later that they had shot those scenes with Richard Beymer as well. But Charlotte Stewart said that she and Grace, what's her name?
Zabriskie,
yeah, exactly. They were both heartbroken. They were actually kind of mad at David about that. They did not like that at all. But even Charlotte had to admit, when you look at the whole story, the clues were kind of there, which from Grace's point of view is like, and you can kind of understand her cognitive dissonance at, not wanting to believe it even when it was happening right under her nose. Right now, I don't think it's until we get to Fire Walk with Me that they literally walk us through every step of what was actually happening. We have we have echoes and inferences and now some confirmations, but yeah. So that's why I said hold off on awarding that Father of the Year award, because I think Leland wins hands down. I know. That's how you're supposed to feel. There's nothing wrong with that. Or there's everything wrong with it.
So how long before they catch him, though? That's the next question.
Well, we gotta stay tuned.
Yeah, exactly. maybe we find out next week. Geek Flag, I had my suspicions from the beginning that Laura's dad killed her. Yeah. And so now we have to look again at that prophecy that the giant said before, that, what was it? Something like 4 people have seen him, but only one has seen the real face, or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I believe that we're talking about Mike, Sarah, Maddie, and Laura. I believe those are the 4 that he's referring to. And the only one that was pretty clear on, the duality of Bob was Mike. Just like we kind of saw, he was going to ID him, right? And we obviously got the red herring over Ben Horn. He was just having some sort of a seizure. And this is what I was talking about early, before the episode started, this whole duality thing, right? Of whether Mike and Philip Gerard, is it just 2 personalities in a disturbed mind, that has some sort of split personality disorder, or is it truly what he represents it to be, some extraplanar being, a demon, whatever, called Mike that possesses him, right? That's kind of how Mike described himself. I don't think he said demon. I think he just said, he described himself as being another entity. But you get the impression that it's the same sort of duality that Bob and Leland have.
Right.
And I'm just throwing out possible interpretations, which is where I was at this point, where I suspect most people viewing this would be. But in an episode or two, this conversation that we're having right now is going to happen again between Sheriff Truman and Dale Cooper. So it's almost a meta discussion, and I don't want to ruin that because it's very, very powerful. And we'll talk more about that when that happens. But I believe that the trigger for Bob and Leland was, God bless you.
Thank you.
Was that Maddie was here looking all like Laura, right? And then as soon as she says, I'm leaving, oh, no, you can't do that. And that was the trigger. Is there anything else I haven't covered?
No more Harold Smith.
No more Harold Smith. We are now obviously going to start moving into a storyline where we start to find out where Catherine has been, what she's been doing, more about the Ghostwood Project. Obviously, although right now the police don't know what we know, they're going to find out it wasn't Benjamin. So he's going to be released, at least as far as the murder goes, right? And I'm not sure they have anything to hold him on anyway, other than that, because, running a brothel in Canada is way out of
Jurisdiction.
jurisdiction, even for the FBI, right?
Yeah.
So, and there hasn't been anything that's tied him to any of the other goings on, whether it's the drug traffic or, Leo being shot or any of that other stuff. We know that he's involved in all of that stuff, but it hasn't come up as far as the police know yet. But, that's probably you're gonna see more of that. Now, Audrey has all this information on her father. You also see her trying to do what's right, telling the authorities. But is she really doing it because she wants to be a good person, or is she doing it just because she's crushing on Agent Cooper? It could be both. Don't know. But that power dynamic between the two of them is now kind of shifted. When she said, "Did you sleep with her?" He doesn't answer right away. That's dramatic. And she asks again. That pause had already answered her question. I don't know if it's denial, I need to hear it, or if it's, yeah, I know the answer, but I'm going to make you say it. Right? And from Ben's point of view, everything we know about Ben, he's the type of person who, you can't prove anything, so why should I admit it? But because of what his daughters revealed to him and all that she already knows, I feel like there's a certain part of him that's broken, and I think he thinks that he loved Laura. Very sick, warped kind of way, I'm sure he did, in a very Epstein-esque sort of way. But it really hurts for Audrey to hear that, because it's like, you've never said that about me, and we already know, even Laura knew that Audrey was jealous of her and Ben's affection for her. So, which, that whole dynamic, very, very creepy. The whole Hester Prynne thing, the creepiness of that scene kind of echoes through the conversation that they were having. It's like, ugh,
Gross.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm trying to think what else there was. We got to see the log lady again.
She was an awesome character, wasn't she? I really do like Margaret.
Nadine broke a milkshake.
Yeah, and deleted scenes, you made a great observation there. It's funny, but it's not funny, right?
Yeah.
And there's another one. There's another thing, and I think I said it at the time. It could go either way. Is this a charade she's putting on, and she's kind of manipulating, her husband and what's her
Norma?
name? Norma, thank you. I keep wanting to say Nadine when I mean Norma and vice versa. Is it that, or is it really she's in this fugue state and doesn't remember? Now, you have to take the whole fugue state with a grain of salt, right? Because first off, we are dealing with a fictional, TV show and the writing thereof, and they play fast and loose with psychological concepts. They don't really work this way in the real world, right? So you don't know how much of it is them just making it up, and how much of it is, well, maybe they know how it's supposed to work, and this ain't it, because why do you have a fugue state like that? This is your subconscious trying to protect you from a trauma. What is Nadine trying to protect herself from? Well, obviously, she knows that her husband is in love with someone else. That, look, the reason she took the pills in the first place, right? And she's trying to her superego is trying to protect her whole psychology, right? She's just forgetting, and if anything challenges the delusion she's created in her mind, she just comes up with some weak, explanation to explain it away.
My parents are still in Europe because they loved it so much.
Exactly. And they just seem to be okay with me staying with my boyfriend. And I hope you don't mind. I heard you broke up. Now, that rings very differently to them when they've been seeing each other. She's like, we broke up? No. We broke up in high school, but I can't tell you that right now in front of Nadine. So, just go with it, please. It's a very, very difficult situation. Then there's the super strength, right? Overactive adrenal gland. You notice there's a little nod to the Hulk with this. It happens whenever she gets emotional. The adrenaline just shoots up, and so I don't think the comment earlier was off base about she's got the crazy person strength, right?
Could Nadine tackle Bob, I wonder? I'm imagining her tossing Bob.
That is an excellent question. In fact, let's hold off on that until season 3, because what does it take to clobber Bob? We will have to investigate that. That will be coming up. But yeah. So have I missed anything? Have I covered it all?
I think so.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. But I think the mother is the one who saw his real face because she knew about him abusing Laura. That is an interesting observation, Nate. She certainly was the first person, other than Laura, to say she saw this person and describe him. That's why they have a composite sketch of him. But it's very clear from what she reported to the police, she did not see him as the same person as her husband. And I don't want to get too far into this particular rabbit hole until we watch Fire Walk with Me. And this is getting really dark, but I'm going to have to kind of go here a little bit. When you have situations of this kind of abuse, right? In a household like this is a trope. This is kind of a stereotype, but it's pretty clinical too. You have one person committing the abuse, and then you might have another person who just doesn't want to believe, doesn't want to deal with. And just like Nadine, right? Putting up these mental barriers to protect herself. It's very clear that Sarah has been doing the same things. You see her, you don't see it all the time. You see it in the first episode. You see Doc Hayward giving her a shot, to medicate her a couple times, actually. But you also see in other scenes medication sitting on her table, her end table and whatnot. You see it far better in Fire Walk with Me. She's self-medicating. Obviously trying to dull her own senses. And by senses, I mean that in a much more broader sense, a sixth sense sort of sense, So yeah. Great observations though. Good. And what we were talking about with Maddie, whether she saw Bob at all or not, we can't prove one way or the other, and it's now irrelevant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. And I would argue that Laura saw Bob and her father separately, not seeing that one was the other. Maybe she was also putting up defensive barriers as well. But it wasn't until almost the very end of her life that she realized fully what was going on. That's another big element of what's covered in Firewalk.
And we get Leo's new shoes.
Right. Yes. The new shoes. So Bobby was absolutely keyed into something, right? He's like, look, I know he's got money and drugs constantly changing hands. He's probably got one or the other somewhere stashed. We just need to find it. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And he found it. Well, found something.
Yeah, you got to find out what is in that. What's on that audio tape? Yeah. You know, it could be an unreleased Beatles album, probably.
Yeah. Sure.
But anyway. Okay. I think that's all I got, unless anyone's got questions for me.
I don't know. Does Donna ever I don't know. I feel like the whole thing with Harold Smith, is that just gonna get glossed over now?
Unfortunately, kinda, yeah. and I do, you know, my annoyance with Donna doesn't come out of nowhere. It comes from, you know, I've seen more growth from Bobby and Audrey than I do from Donna, you know? And maybe more than James too, but at least I feel like James, and we'll see this coming up, I think James is aware of his detachment. I think immaturity isn't unfair, but I think that might be stronger than I intend to say. So he's probably going to do a little Jack Kerouac in the near future, you know, and kind of start his own path and development. And I do feel that Donna maybe develops the least as a character. Now, from a meta sense, that also has to do with the actress and some behind the scenes stuff. And we'll certainly talk more about that when we get to Fire Walk with Me, and especially when we get to season 3.
Right.
But yeah. But honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with talking about those meta elements, because sometimes stuff happens in the real world and the writers have to go, well, we're going to develop these characters based on what we have to work with, you know? You know, we see it with a lot of movie series, right? An actor dies and they have to decide, do we recast or do we kill them off in the movie, or do we, you know, have something else happen? And if whatever decision they make, you know, was affected by the real world, but it doesn't change the fact that this is the canon of the story. You got to go with it, you know? Yeah, no, Nate, you're absolutely right. And it does, I do feel good having someone on my side on this one. Donna is all about herself. She takes no accountability for herself. And yeah, I want to underscore that, because when she's sitting at the Double R with James, if you could make the argument that she was feeling remorse and she was aware, especially, you know, all the things I said, you're absolutely right. But you know what she was really doing? She was saying these things so that James would say, no, you're a good person, and, you know, and make excuses for her. It's a bit manipulative, both of James and kind of herself. You know, she's not being honest with herself, and she's not taking responsibility. You know, and it's not like she hasn't been told, you know, Dale, Agent Cooper has already chastised her and James more than once for their Scooby Gang antics. At least Audrey takes the information she has and gives it to Cooper. You know, it's like she's trying to work with him, you know, instead of doing it all herself. I think that was a lesson that was really driven home to her when she had a needle stuck in her arm and didn't know if she was going to get home.
Yeah.
Right? You are 100% correct, sir. Thank you.
I remember. That was from Johnny Carson.
Yep, absolutely. Good memory, us old folks. But
yeah.
J'ai une âme solitaire, right? I am a lonely soul. But the episode is called Lonely Souls, plural. So it's not just about Harold. It's very clear there's some other characters that, well, and look, that's what a drama's about, right? It's about people trying to make connections, whether it's, you know, friendships, romances, dealing with adversaries, right? It's being part of a society, something that Harold chose to distance himself from. And sadly, in the end, you're kind of feeling like maybe he wasn't wrong. You know, that's not really a good way, you know, to come away from it. But that's, you know, that is what it is. Okay. I'm sorry. It's after 9 o'clock. I should shut my mouth.
Do this every week.
I do this every week. Obviously, I'm a little bit passionate about this.
Just a little.
Yeah, sorry. So,
everyone.
So, if you were not able to watch Twin Peaks with us tonight, or any night before tonight, and you want to get caught up, if you can watch it for free on Pluto TV. If you have premium subscriptions to YouTube, Roku, you can watch it there. Paramount Plus and Amazon Prime have it with subscriptions.
You can also buy yourself the nice Blu-ray box set of everything.
I highly, highly, highly recommend that. A lot of great extras on that. Twin Peaks has been great about going from the bare minimum with VHS, and by bare minimum, I mean just the series without even the pilot because of certain rights issues we talked about, you know, in the first episode of Live from Sparkwood in 21. But it came out on DVD. It came out on Blu-ray. Has there been a HD restoration today, you know, upgraded?
Yes.
Has there been?
Yes.
I probably haven't. Can't even watch it.
Firewalk with Me has a 4K.
Okay.
I don't know if. Well, I don't know if the series Twin Peaks has a 4K. It definitely has a Blu-ray though.
Yeah,
I would imagine the revival series was probably shot in 4K though. The third season 3. I mean, yeah.
And definitely, what we're watching on Cosme is I'm ripping these episodes from my DVDs because it's easier to do than it is from Blu-ray. But when I watch them myself, obviously, I watch Blu-rays.
Indeed.
It's nice to have options. Yes, I do still have it on VHS, but I don't bother watching it because why? It's just a part of my collection, you know.
Something to be nostalgic about.
Exactly right. So I would say good episode, but I'm not sure you can really.
Yeah.
Good as a drama goes, but you're not left feeling very good.
No.
You're kind of left feeling sad at the end of this episode.
Yes.
Physical media rules. I agree 100%. We are all geeky geezers. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I dig it. All right. So, what is tonight? Tuesday. Wednesday's our day off.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday.
Sorry.
We'll be doing a double episode of Charlie Brown Valentine's.
Yep. We're gonna get all Valentine on Thursday, and then deleted scenes is gonna tell us what he's doing for the rest of the week, right?
Right. Well, I am going to be joining Jedi Bill this Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m. for Action Theater. And we are going to be watching Firefox.
Firefox. That was a movie that was on constant replay in the early days of cable. I could watch that film, and if I missed the beginning, just wait until the end of the credits and a commercial, and then
pop right back on.
It'd start right back up again. Yep.
Then, of course, Thursday night, right after Thursday Things, will be the weekend update.
I should warn you, though, that because it's a double feature on Netters, it's going to go a little bit longer than usual. It's going to be a little bit more than an hour.
Yeah, so I will be a little bit later than usual on.
Okay.
I have it tentatively scheduled for 11:45, but if we have to go later, no problem.
Cool.
We can change times. We can change the thumbnail. We can do that here.
We can adapt. There we go.
Yeah.
So then Friday, Boomer, you and I will be joined. You, me, and Netter, of course, will be joined by Jason Fox. I should pronounce it correctly. Jason Fox of 540 Studios. He is our subject matter expert for the week. He is going to be joining us to tell us about movies from Scandinavia. Because if he didn't, all I would have to talk about is horror movies. And I don't want people to think that only horror movies come out of Scandinavia, although some really good ones have.
So his Muppet avatar could be the Swedish Chef.
Oh, that would be funny. I got to tell him about that. That's a good one.
We're Stafford Mortal if he could be the Swedish Chef.
Exactly. Saturday. And then Saturday, back
over on Netter's Network Retro Cinema, we will be watching Deadpool, just in time for Valentine's.
Just in time for Valentine's Day. You picture that poster of him, with the hands in the shape of a heart.
Good 20th Century Fox movie, that studio that used to exist. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of like the last echo of 20th Century Fox.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah. I think Alita was the swan song. Was Alita? Yeah.
Yeah, on that one they kind of tried to step all over too.
That was the media.
Twitter, because there's a picture now of the log lady with the log with googly eyes.
Oh my gosh!
All right.
Yes, Disney Sheepherder. Disney Sheepherder congratulates both me and Netter on getting over 1K, and he notes that Netter outpaced me, which is fine. I'm okay with it.
Hey, I changed my avatar. I got all these guys from India wanting to check out the girl. It's like, hey, guys, It's not OnlyFans. I'm not doing that sort of thing.
Disney Sheepherder says, LOL, got me a lot of sheep lovers from Korea myself.
Yeah.
That is funny.
it's funny if I look at the algorithm of like where the most people live that have stuff to my channel, not almost all of them, but more like the biggest percentage is from India than the United States.
Yep.
Hmm.
So,
well, that's fine. Hey, Ryan Roger they got a big following in the United States, and he's from Wales, right?
yeah, that's absolutely true. But yeah, so there we go.
So now I'm a thousander, just like some of the other guys. So now I gotta get Boomer up there.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Of course, now I need watch hours. So y'all can go to my channel, and like right click if you're watching something else, and just do play all, and just let all my things play in the background while you're doing other things. So I
if you did that, she would be very appreciative. Yeah.
Yes, I would, because I can do it for myself, but
I'm sure
it doesn't count because it's me.
Yeah, it probably doesn't. But yep. So there we go. And then you guys know next Sunday is all deleted scenes all the time. So just camp out on his channel.
What about me?
Oh yeah, and in between there's a Geeky Geezer thing.
We got major stuff to talk about, like a certain trailer that got revealed for a certain movie called Late Night with the Devil finally came out. I'm very
that does look
excited about
interesting.
that.
Yeah.
It looks like you know what's funny? I forgot that those old 70s like late shows, they weren't necessarily the best video quality. They had that like not even like 80s video quality, like it's 70s video quality, and it has that kind of tarnished look to it. It's like they uncovered the lost video of this the lost master of this late show. Actually kind of like how the holiday special looks, if I'm being honest. That kind of weird 70s. But yeah, it looks really neat, that movie, so I'm looking forward to it.
Looks like another pseudo Disney property is getting the horror treatment.
Yes. Natasha Henstridge, I guess, is the fairy godmother. I'd like her as my fairy godmother.
I may have to start.
This is what now?
They're doing a Cinderella, a horror Cinderella.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
And I think at this point now, we've had Winnie the Pooh, we've got Steamboat Willie coming. This one's going to be Cinderella. I may have to start picking these up on DVD or Blu-ray just to start an anti-Disney collection,
I actually
have worse movies in my collection,
Yeah. I actually did see that Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. I actually did finally sit down and watch it.
What do you think?
It's on Peacock. It's basically a wrong turn movie.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
It's like one of those straight to video wrong turn sequels.
Sure, I get that.
That's basically what it is.
So it's if nothing else, it's good marketing, right?
Yeah.
It got all kinds of press. It got viewership from looky-loos, and it doesn't really have to be good. It probably actually pulled a pretty decent profit because it costs probably nothing to make.
You know what else are kind of anti-Disney movies? The Shrek movies. If you think about it.
Oh, those definitely are. Those are very obviously poking directly at Disney.
Yeah.
We need a new movie like that.
Well, we had the Puss in Boots movie that came out, I think, what was it, last year? That was actually rather good. The Puss in
did
Boots,
pretty well. Yeah.
The Last Wish, I think, yeah.
True.
I liked how they did Jack Horner in it. I don't want to spoil it, but it's and they have Jiminy Cricket's in it too, and it's funny just because.
Does he get killed too?
No, it's okay. I'll put it to this way: he's usually trying to find like some good in anybody, right? And he even sounds kind of like the old Disney Jiminy Cricket. He's like, but you, Jack Horner, there's nothing good about you. Like Jack Horner's just pure evil, just a pure bad guy. Like they say, like they thought that maybe, he grew up on, the streets or something. No, I was actually born to a quite rich family and I inherited a fabulous baking industry. It's like, it's like,
right.
Like he couldn't find a reason, like what made him turn evil. No, he's just evil because he's evil.
Yeah.
If you watch it, it's just, and Goldilocks and the Three Bears are in it. They're another group. Like everyone's after this wishing star. That's the big thing in the movie, but. It was good
that's interesting because Disney just did Wish. So
that's funny.
Maybe it's a poke at that as well.
And Death is after Puss in Boots. I don't want to. I keep spoiling the movie, but Death, it's a good movie. Antonio Banderas. I have to admit, I don't typically. I mean, they probably don't give awards for voice actors, but he deserved an award for his portrayal of Puss in Boots. I thought. Really good.
Yeah.
The very boisterous hero,
Right.
I don't know. It was a lot of fun to see that.
You were talking about what do you call it? The I don't even know if I can find it now. I made up a meme that I shared recently. Now I'm not finding it. Tom Connors over at Midnight's Edge. I was listening to the show earlier in the week, and he made some comment about, how did he put it? He said, villains are people that have had some kind of trauma, so they take it out on everyone around them. Whereas heroes have experienced some kind of trauma and work to make sure that no one else ever goes through what they went through.
Basically, that's Batman to a T.
Yeah. Exactly.
That really is. And a lot of Batman villains are the opposite of that. Yeah.
And Tom was making the point that so many people, that are writing these villain, origin stories, making them out to be some kind of anti-heroes or just they've been misunderstood and blah, blah, blah. No, bullshit. That a villain is doing what they do because they had trauma. The hero is the one that takes that trauma and makes sure to protect people from that kind of trauma, do something against it, and I mean, so I happen to be in that whole, villains are villains because they're villains, don't try and sugarcoat it. You might be able to say, well, I understand why they're villains, but they're still villains, and it was going back to tonight's episode even a little bit, right? When he James is trying to absolve Donna. Well, he was a disturbed man, and blah 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 blah. That doesn't absolve Donna from coming into his life, doing stuff she shouldn't have done, upsetting his apple cart, and driving him to an unstable person to do what he did. Yes, it absolutely was his own doing, but that does not absolve Donna. She is still in the wrong and still responsible.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Remember, kids, in life, you are the only one that you control. Take responsibility for yourself and your actions. The more you know.
The more you know, yes.
Did you get that clip? Now,
and knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe. Right.
Thank you!
Never give up, we'll stay till the fight's won. G.I. Joe's there. Sorry.
Joe.
Real American hero. G.I. Joe's there. Sorry. All right. Well, we were on Sunday. And, of course, that is Western Cinema Presents at 3 p.m. Jedi Bill and myself. The film for this week has not been chosen yet. We're mulling a few titles over. But we do want to do more public domain stuff. So we did that a couple of weeks ago, and that turned out pretty well. So I'm going to start doing more.
Yeah, that was kind of one of your biggest films.
It is my
as
biggest.
far as
Yeah.
the Al Gore rhythms.
Mm-hmm. Because of course Al Gore invented the internet.
Yes, he did.
So he claims.
Give credit where credit is claimed.
Man, bear, pig.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And of course, 8 p.m. will be the next episode of Unscripted. And we were discussing a topic backstage that might qualify for that program. So stay tuned.
We talked about a lot of things backstage. That
We
doesn't
did.
narrow it down for me.
And then, of course, at 9 o'clock, it is some program. It's on the tip of my tongue. I just what is it? Some geeky
I forget too.
Something. I
just talked about
geezer guys.
One of them's good looking. The other one's a schmendrick.
Anyway, we're going to be spending 2 hours dissecting the Wicked trailer, so look forward to that. Okay.
Oh gosh.
I'm sorry. I saw the preview and I'm like, no, I don't know what this is. I've avoided Wicked like my whole adult life, and I'm like, no, we're not starting now.
I would love to have a conversation with Deleted Scenes and Sin, because I don't know what you guys think. Maybe I'd even want to get Sir Torn involved in this conversation. I feel like we have had a really mixed bag when it comes to Broadway musicals made into movies.
Oh yeah.
I think if you go back farther, they were much better.
Yes.
I'm thinking like Music Man, Oklahoma,
yes.
All those kinds of. But
think about what the last great musical adaptation you saw was. What was it? Think about it.
Well, I'll tell you what it wasn't. It wasn't Les Mis. It wasn't Phantom of the Opera.
No.
Both of which were okay, but nowhere near as good as they should have been. Nowhere near as good as they would have been if they had A, cast the right talent in the acting and singing roles, and B, had the right directors. Because I'll tell you what, with one exception, Les Miserables had the right casting, but the director was a dumbass.
Yeah. Even Anne Hathaway could sing. She was kind of.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? I thought.
No, you're absolutely right, but you wouldn't know it from some of the songs that she did in the movie. Yeah. And I'm sitting there going with Hugh Jackman. I'm like, I know this guy can sing. Why does his voice sound like he's dying? Oh, come to find out, this is like the 25th take of the day, and he's been singing for 12 hours, and he's not getting any rest on his vocal cords. What the hell? This is what I'm talking about. The director had no business directing a musical. He had no effing clue what he was doing. I'm sorry. This is a big tangent I didn't mean to go down. Sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
Maybe we'll revisit this Sunday.
We'll see. I don't know if I even want to bring up that. Anyway, we'll talk about it later.
The exhaustive 12-part series on the 1-minute trailer for Wicked.
Just kidding.
Yeah, and only like 30 seconds of it is about Wicked. We're going to go off on tangents about, Les Miserables and Phantom of the Opera and Cats.
And, actually, speaking of Sin, she's going to be joining me next Monday night at 10 p.m. for a mystery movie night at the Regal.
I hope it's Late Night with the Devil. Probably not. I know.
No. Unless they're lying about the rating in a movie.
Okay.
Which they might be. You never.
Oh, what's the movie rating?
PG.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Okay.
What's coming out that's going to be Peach?
I don't know.
I know.
Huh.
But the thing is usually if it is a family film, you know, like a G or a PG, they usually show it at 5, not at 7. So that's what's got me wondering if they're lying about the rating. We don't mention Cats. I have never made it through Cats. There's just the point. There's just the point where it loses me.
The recent movie.
The movie I didn't bother with. No.
Oh, okay.
I've tried watching.
That was a freak show. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just disgusting and painful. Yeah. And was that the same director that did Les Mis?
Yes.
You know, it was.
Yeah, that tells you everything you need to know. That just no.
Well, he did King Speech in that John Adams miniseries, so.
Well, those were good, but
maybe you should stay away from musical, Broadway plays.
Maybe. No, really, it won't be Madam Web. No.
He's a dramatic director. He is not a musical director. That's a completely different talent. I mean, that's like saying you're an English teacher, right? You ought to be able to teach physics.
All right.
Sure, why not?
And with that, I think it's best that we wrap it up here. I would like to thank everyone in the chat for joining us. Disney Sheepherder, JPRPH1, Big Al Presents, Dee Dee Myers Jr., Lady Mist, Evelyn Hampton, Fluff Chick Productions, FKHC 2005, Geek Flag with an 8 Nose, 1973, Playing Down Under, Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips, Jedi Bill, LDG, and A View with Drew. Any last words before we wrap it up?
Nope. Thanks so much.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Netter, I know you usually have your...
Yes, I do.
Your outro?
Everyone's having me do that now.
Yeah.
Well, I always say that I really hope that y'all will subscribe to the panel. And congratulations again, sweetie, on getting over that 1K.
Yeah, thanks.
Also, make sure you're subscribed to everyone in the chat. And if you think you're subbed, go back and double check, because YouTube likes to take those away. That said, we can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well, good, and fun. But it is so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat, and you're dropping your comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. It feels like we're all hanging out in the same room, enjoying each other's company, and have a great time. And you guys, you're not just our friends. You are our family. We love you guys, and we appreciate you so very much. You can be anywhere right now, and you chose to be here. And that is so encouraging to all of us. Not just to the panel, but to everyone else in the chat that sees all of you coming back and interacting. Because it's family. So I want to thank you all again for being here, joining us tonight, encouraging all of us. Have a wonderful afternoon, or evening, actually. Well, depends on where you're at, I guess. Have a wonderful day tomorrow, and God bless.
All right, I want to remind everyone that our pal Big Al Presents does have a new review up on his channel. Attack of the Myth Gator. Sure to be an Oscar-nominated hit, I'm sure. Check out his review. Also, once we are done here, I would appreciate it if everyone went over to 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser for Toxic Tuesday. Tonight's movie is White Men Can't Jump. So, live from Sparkwood and 21 Raid, go over to Nick Weiser's channel and say hello. All right. From HQ and all points north, south, east, and west. Good night from Sparkwood and 21. Stay strong. Take care, because this is how we win.